to be humble, to be kind. It is a giving of the peace in your mind, to a stranger, to a friend, to give in such a way that has no end. We are love, we are one, we are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace, we are war, we are how we treat each other and nothing more. And to be bold, to be brave, it is a thinking that the heart can still be saved, and the darkness can come quick. The danger's in the anger and in the hanging on to it. We are love, we are one, we are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace, we are war, we are how we treat each other, nothing more. And tell me what it is that you see. A world that's full of endless possibilities, and heroes don't look like they used to, they look like you do. We are love, we are one, we are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace.
Saraswati, with her bija syllable, Ayim, call response, antiphonal, I'll sing to you, you sing back to me. Here we go. Om Ayim, Hrim Saraswati Ma Namaha. Bolo! Saraswati Ma Namaha. Saraswati Ma Namaha. Saraswati And now an invocation to the Divine Mother. This was written by Paramahansa Yogananda from the Self-Realization Fellowship. All right. So sing after me, and Lynn, Jedi, Sharik, Nancy, and Misha will sing after me, and they'll help you sing along. Engrossed is the bee of my mind. Engrossed is the bee of my mind. On the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. On the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind. Engrossed is the bee of my mind. On the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. On the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Divine mother, 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 my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind. Engrossed is the bee of my mind. On the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. On the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Divine mother, 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 my divine mother.
Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Berkeley. Happy Mother's Day. I'm Reverend Marcus Liefert, and I'm so glad to be with you on this beautiful Sunday morning. If you're visiting with us for the first time, I want to especially welcome you. We hope that no matter who you are or how you make your living, no matter whom you love or how you experience the sacred, you'll feel welcome here among us in the fullness of your being. Everyone is invited to stick around after the service, make your way all the way across the atrium into the social hall for lunch and conversation. Lunch is freely offered each week by a team of amazing volunteers. Anyone's welcome to join that crew and help make it happen. And it's a way to get to know people in the community, so stick around if you can. We gather here each week in Huchiyun, gathering at the intersection of arts, justice, and spirituality, gathering on the unceded territory of the Chochenyo-speaking Ohlone people. We hope that we will do our part to repair the covenant that we have inherited that has been so deeply broken, that we'll have the humility and the courage to live into a new solidarity with Indigenous peoples and the earth. There's a memory book in the back of the sanctuary. If there's ever something on your heart that you'd like lifted up aloud during our service, you can write it there and we'll name it during the prayer. And you're also, of course, welcome to light a candle for a silent memory of prayer anytime you're here. We have been exploring this worship season, Venus, Mars, and other planets, wondering how gender influences our spiritual lives and our social fabric. And today, our Reverend Dr. Catherine J. will be sharing a good word on this Mother's Day, and I'm looking forward to getting to sneak out and get a peek at our religious education program with kids. So grateful to you, Catherine, for preaching today. Before we begin our service by singing our first hymn, would you rise in body or in spirit? We're going to just turn to that back camera and wave to greet all those joining us by live stream on YouTube or Facebook. So glad you're here with us. And would you just turn and greet your neighbor, wish them a happy Sunday before we get started here. Oh, I like this one.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the word. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where God's feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, Eden saw play. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day.
Ask Marcel from the choir to light our chalice this morning as I read these words by Reverend Elizabeth McMaster. We light our flaming chalice to illuminate the world we seek. In the search for truth, may we be just. In the search for justice, may we be loving. And in loving, may we find peace. Sometimes this justice and loving and peace takes a little work. All right, come let us worship together.
We sang while we were cooking or
Good morning. The story today is about Clara Schumann, and it's a participatory story, so I hope you'll join in, and I'll let you know about the use for the what I'd like you to do is, this is going to be a story about being a mom. And if you remember any time you came to your mom and interrupted her with something you wanted her to do or something you needed or wanted, that's what you're going to do. Okay, I'll give you the cue and you can do just whatever you think you might have done. There's also a time if you've ever interrupted or gone to your spouse and said, sweetie, I really need help with this. We're going to say it a little differently because Clara was from Germany and so was her husband. So it's Süße Clara, sweetie Clara, Süße Clara, and then say whatever you think you might have said sometime. So Clara Schumann was this amazing pianist and person. She lived, when she was born, Beethoven and Schubert were still alive, and she became a child prodigy pianist. Her father was a piano teacher, and she gave concerts starting at 11 years old. She became famous as a pianist in Germany, and this was a time when it was the golden age of piano playing. This was when Liszt and Chopin were at their height. And she did pretty well for a little girl. It was great. In one of her later concerts, a young fellow named Robert Schumann, a composer, wannabe pianist, heard her play and said, I have got to study with her teacher. And the way things worked in Europe in those days, if you were a serious pianist, you might move into your piano teacher's house. So he went to study with Clara's father, because he was a legendary piano teacher, and moved into the house. And after a number of years, Clara and Robert kind of became very friendly, and eventually they married. Her father was not happy because she was marrying a penniless composer who was trying to be a great pianist. Well, in the end, Robert never became a great pianist, but he did go on to become one of history's greatest composers and a great literary author. So Clara, who had been concertizing, had to cut back on her concertizing because she had 8 children. And she had to bring up her 8 children and take care of her husband and all the household duties and the correspondence. This was before email, before cell phones, before phone calls when you had to write everything. You had to scribble on paper and make it clear enough other people could read your scribblings. How did we ever manage that back in the day? So she would be at home practicing for things, playing some beautiful music. And then along the way, the kids might say something. But here's what she might be playing. This, by the way, is one of her pieces. And the kids would all come in and say, and being a good mother, she would stop what she was doing and take care of the household. And she kept doing this and still managed to go out and do concerts fairly often. It's interesting that in those days, people traveled by carriage most of the time. And she did concerts in Russia, and there she went on sleigh from city to city. It's quite remarkable. Her husband was not much help around the house. He described himself as living mostly in the imagination. So she took care of the house. Eventually, he died. It was very sad, and the way things worked in Germany in those days, she was not allowed to visit him in the hospital for the last year and a half of his life. Their mutual friend, Johannes Brahms, took messages back and forth. But after he died, she had to start making all the money for the household of 8 children. So she went back to full-time concertizing and teaching, and when she could, composing. So here's a little bit of one of her songs. Thank you to Marcel for singing a couple phrases of this song. And when she was rehearsing these things, who knows who might come in? You'll get the signal again.
Liebst du Schönheit, o nicht mich lieb
So Clara went on, and she managed to do so many amazing things while still raising her kids. She did concertizing. She became one of the most important pianists of her generation. She was described by one famous critic. He said, if she were not a woman, she would be the greatest pianist in the world. But of course, if she was a woman, she couldn't be in those days. But she was incredibly respected for a career that lasted 65 years. She also edited and published all of Robert, her husband's, work. And throughout her career, she wore black in honor of Robert, so that people were always reminded of her husband. When she was older, some of her kids who had moved out of the house had a little trouble with their kids. And Clara wound up having to take on 5 grandkids and raise them like they were her children. So once again, she was practicing her great virtuoso piano music, and she was doing this stuff. And they said, and yet, she did all of these amazing things, and she taught a whole generation of pianists who went on to become famous. This is just an amazing woman. We are so lucky to know her and still have some of her music. Well, that's the story for today. And now, Marcus is going to lead the children out to Ari, and I hope you all will stand up and sing the children out with Safe Passage that Michelle will lead us in.
Can you hear me now? Hi, I'm Elizabeth J. I'm a happy member of this congregation, and I have the honor of reading a poem by Ada Limon, our most recent poet laureate, called The Raincoat. When the doctor suggested surgery and a brace for all my youngest years, my parents scrambled to take me to massage therapy, deep tissue work, osteopathy, and soon my crooked spine unspooled a bit. I could breathe again and move more in a body unclouded by pain. My mom would tell me to sing songs to her the whole 45-minute drive to Middle 2 Rock Road and 45 minutes back from physical therapy. She'd say that even my voice sounded unfettered by my spine afterwards. So I sang and sang because I thought she liked it. I never asked her what she gave up to drive me or how her day was before this chore. Today, at her age, I was driving myself home from yet another spine appointment, singing along to some maudlin but solid song on the radio, and I saw a mom take her raincoat off and give it to her young daughter when a storm took over the afternoon. My God, I thought, my whole life I've been under her raincoat thinking it was somehow a marvel that I never got wet.
Good morning once again. Please join us as we sing. I'll sing to you. This is an antiphonal chant to Jaya Mata Kali Mata Uma Parvati Anandama, and the prayer is up on the slides.
I invite you to take a moment and settle more deeply into your seat. Wiggle in into this moment, into this place Put your feet firmly on the ground and feel your connection to the earth beneath us, to this good, this holy place. Take a deeper breath. Feel it go all the way down. Let the Spirit breathe with and through us. Spirit of life and love, God of many names, and yet beyond all naming, thank you. Thank you for the great greenness of the springtime leaves, for flowers that our neighbors grow, for the purple scent of lilacs in bloom. Thank you for dirt underneath our fingernails, for vegetables planted in neat rows, and for the wild ruckus of volunteer vines. We also give thanks for the people, mothers, fathers, friends, teachers who support and nurture us, who show up, who offer balm for our souls, who help us see our authentic selves. Spirit of life and love, remind us to stand still, to listen well, to savor life's sweetness in tiny moments throughout our days. Remind us that miracles happen when we pay attention. As we sit and breathe together in community, we pray for clarity of purpose. How do we make a difference in a world beset by heartache, filled with angry words and deeds? Embolden us, we pray, on a path towards justice. Strengthen our resolve to speak up, to take action. Help us to weave real connections, to keep reaching out, to keep bringing in. Give us strong voices to affirm that human lives are not disposable, that the world deserves protection, and that all people have dignity and worth. And now please join me in a time of stillness and quiet. In this community of care and witness, we hold one another through the seasons of our lives and lift up those joys and sorrows among us each week. Marcella Dronker writes, "Please celebrate with me as my niece goddaughter is in labor as we speak, with Ripley, believe it or not." May all those whose concerns have been shared feel support and assurance that we are here. We also hold those whose concerns are still too delicate to leave the silent sanctuary of their hearts. No one should feel forgotten. Everyone matters in this interdependent web of life. Hear our joys, that they be multiplied by every heart that receives them, and bear our sorrows with the reminder we are not alone. There is love holding us as we hold each other. May it be so. Amen.
To all inspired and hopeless gain. Oh, I may give all I possess, and striving so my love profess, but not begin my love within. The prophet soon turns strangely thin. Come, Spirit, come, our hearts control. Our spirits long to be made whole. Let inward love guide every deed. By this we worship and are freed.
An earthquake shook San Diego in mid-April. This is not something I normally remember or comment on, except for a viral video featuring the elephants in the San Diego Zoo. When the earth started shaking, the elephants stopped what they were doing and moved to the center of their enclosure, forming a tight circle. Older elephants stood facing outward, with ears extended, with eyes wide open, and tusks at the ready. Younger elephants huddled in the center of the circle, protected from threat. Evidently, this is standard elephant response to perceived danger. It's called bunching. In moments of high stress, elephants form a protective ring around their youngest and most vulnerable. They put their bodies in the way of danger. The story from the San Diego Zoo also features the detail that a young male calf named Zuli joined the matriarchs on the outside of the circle for the first time. In response, two of the older female elephants, Zuli's mom and another elephant who had helped raise him, repeatedly patted Zuli on the side and on his face with their trunks, as if to say, "It's okay, don't worry, you're doing great." Visualize that. Zuli's mom and co-mom standing with tusks at the ready to attack, eyes scanning for danger, listening for threats with their enormous ears, and at the same time, Zuli's mom and co-mom tenderly offering a steady stream of reassurances to the newest member of the outside circle. Could we, all of us, be so fierce and so tender? In two almost identical gospel stories in Mark and Luke, Jesus strikingly compares himself to a mother hen. He longs to protect the persecuted and downtrodden of Jerusalem as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings. It's not an obvious metaphor for a Jewish man to use. Jesus compares himself to a mother hen in a moment of lament. Jesus is mourning the suffering of the people and their resistance to love and protection. He wants to gather, to shelter, to mother. And the people do not listen. Now, if you've ever loved someone that you could not protect, then you may understand the depths of Jesus' sorrow. All you can do is open your arms. You cannot make anyone walk into them. Still, Jesus was willing willing to be a mother hen standing between her chicks and those who meant to do them harm, with no tusks, no muscles to speak of, nothing that signals any power at all, just a willingness to open up and shield those in need. In a world where messiahs were expected to be warrior kings, this image upends all expectations. It offers a model of divine strength expressed through care, not control, through mothering, not might. Jesus imagined himself as a mother hen, offering his body, however imperfectly created for the task, to protect those in need. Could we, all of us, be willing to risk ourselves like that? Ada Lamone's version of mothering probably feels a little more familiar, maybe a little less dangerous. My God, I thought my whole life I've been under her raincoat, thinking it was somehow a marvel that I never got wet. This is mothering as an unseen, often unappreciated force, trying to help children grow into their best selves, or at least make it to adulthood. Taking care of the details, dentist appointments, and school lunches, summer camp registrations and clean t-shirts, dinner prep, endless carpooling. The list goes on and on and on and on. These are the nitty-gritty facts of mothering, mostly about showing up, being there, taking care. A different kind of sacrifice than Jesus as mother hen, often performed by actual mothers, sometimes not. In the poem, Lamone's mom drove her daughter 45 minutes each way for a doctor's appointment, encouraging her to sing the whole time. Could Lamone even carry a tune? It didn't matter. The important thing was for the child to sing. Could we, all of us, find that kind of grace? Now, as a new, As a new Unitarian Universalist minister, it's a requirement of my position to mention Unitarian foremother Julia Ward Howe on Mother's Day. Yes. In 1870, Howe began pushing for the creation of a Mother's Day for peace. Howe meant the day as an uprising against war. Like many in the 19th century and today, Howe believed natural maternal instincts compelled women to oppose war to protect their children. What was more unusual about Howe was that she believed that there are no other people's children. She said, "We, women of one country, will be too tender of those of another country to allow our sons to be trained to injure theirs." Howe conceived Mother's Day as an impassioned cry to disarm, to rally against all war, a call for mothers to rise up to declare that they would not raise children to kill other mothers' children. This is not the Mother's Day we got. Stripped of its anti-war connection, Mother's Day became an American holiday in 1914, just in time for the outbreak of World War I. Anna Jarvis, who had also long campaigned for a day honoring mothers, ended up dismayed by the holiday she had helped to create. "I wanted it to be a day of sentiment, not profit," Jarvis said. Greeting card companies and florists strongly disagreed. Jarvis's vision of hand-picked flowers and handwritten letters did not stand a chance. Julia Ward Howe's vision of Mother's Day got ground up in the trenches of World War I. Anna Jarvis's vision of Mother's Day got caught in the vice grip of capitalism and became something that she herself disavowed. Americans will spend about $34 billion on Mother's Day this year. The traditional conservative forces that have long shaped Mother's Day aren't really interested in spreading a vision of peace or celebrating without the help of the marketplace. Could we, all of us, celebrate a more radical Mother's Day? Yeah, there we go. Yes, preach. Reverend Marcus has been preaching for the past month or so about gender, encouraging us to think and feel more expansively about our norms and expectations. And as a reminder, way back at the beginning of this series, Reverend Marcus issued an invitation to describe your gender in 3 or 4 images. Does anybody remember that? He gave the example of a friend who says she's Wesley from The Princess Bride, a gypsy riding bareback, an earth mother, and a crone. If you would like, he is still interested in hearing what your vision of gender is in images. So send those along and he will incorporate them into a later sermon. Be thinking about that. Because Reverend Marcus has been asking us to open ourselves to ambiguity, to mix it up, use new words to describe our gender, let go of icky expectations inherited from our parents or pop culture or church, and lean into something healthier, less restrictive, more authentic. We can do that with mothering too. As my example of Jesus made clear, mothering is not about biology or gender, or certainly not just about biology or gender. Mothering is open to everyone, and there's so many ways to do that mothering. Could we, all of us, try out a little mothering? Yeah. I have 2 children who will be 21 very soon, like 3 weeks soon. I am so proud of them. Raising them has been the most vital, most important thing I've done in my life. Until very recently, as the non-bio mom in a lesbian couple, I would not have been counted as their mother. Elizabeth, my partner, went back to work when Arlo and Annabelle were 6 months old. I stayed home. At some point in that first year, we started the process to make my motherhood official. The diaper changing and the late night bottle feedings, the hours at the park, the repeated readings of 10 minutes to bedtime, none of that counted in the eyes of the state. Now, as a part of the second parent adoption process, a social worker came to our house for a site visit. Friends, she insisted we wake Arlo up from a nap. Things got a little tense. After she saw that the kids were, in fact, all right, the social worker turned to Elizabeth. You understand that once you sign this paperwork, Catherine will have the same legal rights over your children as you do. How do you feel about that? I honestly thought Elizabeth's head might explode. She said, I think it's ridiculous that we have to go through with this. Catherine is already their mother. They're already her children. Elizabeth was right, as she so often is. Still, when Annabelle and Arlo were younger, plenty of people had zero qualms, like none, about asking me and Elizabeth some variant of, who's the mom? Which meant, who's the bio mom, who's the birth mom, who carried them? People wanted to know who was the real mom and who was the fake. They didn't get the expansiveness of mothering at all. I imagine that some of you have had similar experiences, raising children that people thought were not your own, being asked in so many different ways, who's the real mom? Could we, all of us, expand our understanding of real mothering? Yes. Because mothering happens even when you don't have children in your actual house, or when your house itself is a metaphor. I'm thinking here of Angie Extravaganza. Extravaganza transformed herself into a mother when she was only 16 and ended up watching over dozens, maybe hundreds of young people in the 1980s. Extravaganza was part of a thriving subculture that organized elaborate drag balls where mostly Black and gay Latino men and trans people walked the runway to win acclaim. Most contestants on these runways represented houses that served as intentional families with a mother to guide them. Extravaganza was a house mother. Known as the fiercest thing in high heels, who was often tough on her chosen family, she dressed to win and set clear expectations about behavior and attitude. But Extravaganza had a tender side too. As the mother of the House of Extravaganza, she took rejected and homeless teenagers under her wing, made them chicken soup, celebrated their birthdays, taught them how to survive in a world that did not value their contributions. She believed in me when I did not believe in myself, said one of the Extravaganza house members. She was my gay mother, my friend. She gave me the slap of love, and it woke me up. Neither gender nor biology defined Extravaganza's motherhood. Like Jesus, she served as a sort of mother hen, offering shelter despite having few resources herself. Poor and unloved by mainstream society, she opened her wings to protect those who had even less. Could we, all of us, treat other people's children as our own? Yes. One more story of fierce mothering. This one from Argentina in the 1970s and 80s. A military coup led to a harsh crackdown known as the Dirty War. Anyone who opposed the dictatorship, leftists, activists, socialists, writers, journalists, artists, students, was at risk. The dictatorship mandated dress codes, hairstyles, appropriate reading material. They declared student groups and unions subversive and illegal. They prohibited organizing and meeting in public. And people, especially young activists, were swept up and disappeared. At least 30,000 people were killed or disappeared. Facing this level of repression, many Argentines went silent. But not a group of mothers, the Madres of the Plaza de Mayo, whose bravery would transform them into the symbol of democratic opposition. That's not how they started, though. At first, they were just individual moms worried about their individual children. Where had their children gone? Mothers and grandmothers met during endless, fruitless visits to police stations and military barracks. Their despair drew them together. Once they were together, they got stronger. Since more than two people speaking in public was illegal, the mothers began walking in pairs once a week around the Plaza de Mayo, right in front of the president's main office, holding photos and signs of their missing children. It was dangerous. So dangerous that some of the mothers themselves were also kidnapped and killed. But the madres kept walking. The madres protested so much that they, eventually, helped to end the military dictatorship. And even after democracy returned to Argentina, the madres kept mothering, expanding their defense of human rights to include other people, workers, gay people. They marched for everyone, defenders of life. The madres started as mother hens, armed with nothing more than the love they had for their children. They became elephants, bunching together in times of danger, tusks out and eyes wide open, always reassuring those who are anxious and in need, you're doing okay. Could we, all of us, claim that same fierce mothering spirit? Because we live in a world where authoritarianism is again on the rise, where our government passes laws to erase trans lives, ignores the law to snatch people off the street and deport them without due process. They are rewriting history and silencing truth. More mothering from everyone is one answer. We all need to embody our motherly side in these dangerous days. Take care of each other. Wake people up with a slap of love. Spread our wings to embrace all of the children. So I urge you, don't ask, who's the real mom? Just be the real mom. Lean into mothering as an act of spiritual resistance. Together, let's bunch up and put our bodies in the way of danger. Stick our metaphorical tusks out. Open our arms to shelter those in need. Be the raincoat that protects all who need it. May it be so. Amen.
This song always made me think of unconditional love. It's Ave Maria.
Hi, I'm Carla McCasland. I'm a new member of your Board of Trustees. In our covenantal community, we share the responsibility for pursuing our mission by giving generously of our time, talent, and treasure. I invite you to support the work of our church by giving electronically by scanning the QR code on the back of your badge, or by putting a cash or check donation into the donation envelope that you'll find in the back of the pew in front of you, and then put it into the donation box beside the fountain in the atrium as you leave the service. Each week, half of our offering is shared with a nonprofit Good Neighbor organization. The Good Neighbor for this month is Interfaith Movement for Human Integrity. The mission of the Interfaith Movement for Human Integrity is to work at the intersection of spirituality and social movements. We mobilize congregations to take a stand on issues of social justice like immigration and mass incarceration. And we encourage people of faith to develop their own leadership so they can stand up against racism, discrimination, and the political challenges of the day. Will you join me in rededicating ourselves to our mission? We dedicate our offering and ourselves to the mission of this congregation: to create loving community, inspire spiritual growth, and encourage lives of integrity, joy, and service.
Just a few today. My voice. The first is that immediately after service today, there is a Q&A with Lisa Maynard, our treasurer, and Janae Hurd, our person in charge of things of the church. I can't remember her official title. A Q&A about this year's budget. Now, if you can't stay or you don't want to do it right after church, there's another one this coming Tuesday at 7 o'clock p.m., same people, Lisa and Janae, on Zoom. So you could go to that. And you should go to one of those because next Sunday, the 18th, after church and after lunch, so you go get fed and then come back, we'll have a congregational meeting to approve this year's budget. Woohoo! Finally, next month in June, General Assembly is coming up. It's happening in Baltimore. There's a great program. If you're interested in going, if you're interested in being a delegate, please let Reverend Jane Ramsey know, and she will work that out with you. And I believe that is all of my announcements for today. So please rise in body or spirit and join in singing a great hymn, number 109, as we go marching, marching.
Fields of gray are taught with all the just singing bread and roses, bread and roses, bread, small art and love and beauty, their trudging spirits new. Yes, with bread we fight for, but we fight for roses too.
Reach out, take a hand. Yes, let's. If there's no one beside you, you can raise your hand up for the universal people who need community and don't know it yet, or for the people who are online watching. We are more powerful than we know when we work together. Let us all go out and do some fierce mothering in the weeks ahead and help to bring life and love not just to our children, but to all the children, because there are no other people's children. May it be so, and amen.
Didn't get to sing this earlier, so I'm gonna sing it now, and then we're gonna end with the actual postlude. It must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine. You always walked a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory. You were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name. thank you. So this final postlude is the actual postlude is a song written by Mary Hunter based on Psalm 23. My lady guides me, she brings me home. My lady guides me, she brings me home. I have no fear around, 'cause when I come home, she'll restore my soul. She lays me a table with love and care. She lays me a table with love and care. I'm blessed and anointed, no burdens to bear. She restores my soul. Have mercy on me, the days of my life. Let goodness follow me, the days of my life. Let me go where I'll be restored. Forever I will dwell. She restores my soul. I'll be rocked in her bosom, held in her arms, given courage for life and strength to go on. And she restores my soul. And if I descend to madness again, and if I descend to madness again, my body shall heal with her sacred kiss. She restore my soul. Have mercy on me, the days of my life. Let goodness follow me, the days of my life. Let me go where I'll be restored. Forever I will dwell. She restores my soul. My lady guides me. She brings me home. My lady guides me. She brings me home. I have no fear without, 'cause when I'm at home, she restores my soul. She restores my soul. She restores my soul. It's also Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander Month, and so we are here to represent.